Well, this is the mouth of a reserve called Tiromoana Bush in North Canterbury. It's sort of about 500 hectares of public, privately owned land that is being restored back to hopefully its former glory. And my role was just a general manager looking after the place. Lots of the time is spent racing around the hills, doing plantings and doing conservation work, doing monitoring.
What did this landscape used to look like prior to like humans being here?
I suppose North Canterbury is it's a hard place, but it would have been real dense polycarp broadleaf forest. Up on the higher hills there would have been beech forest, and the geology's real diverse as well, so that sort of adds to the variety of plants that would have grown here in the past.
So tōtara, kahikatia,
matai, huge matais, yeah,
all
so
those
all
beautiful
of that.
big,
yeah, and then a whole diversity of sort of other broadleaf trees. Being by the sea, the forest would have been home to huge amounts of bird life, and the birds would have obviously brought lots of nutrients into the forest, so it would have been real sort of rich forest in parts.
Your job, Fraser, has been really to bring that forest back on the journey of getting towards abundance once more. So what are some of the tools you have done to be able to bring this forest back?
And the first thing was obviously retiring it from grazing. And then we've fenced the majority of the reserve with a deer fence, although some deer still get through. And we're complementing the existing wetlands sort of with kahikatia forest and flax and all that sort of stuff to make them more resilient and more sheltered. So in a few hundred years they'll be, real awesome with huge kahikatia trees around them. There's hunters that come in and do some. We've got problems with pigs, so they come in and kill a few pigs and kill a few deer as well. So we sort of try and obviously maintain the browsing pressure there long term.
Given naturally, in their home ecosystems, deer and pig are part of a larger food chain, what do you reckon the role of hunters are in Recloaking Papatūānuku with controlling browsers?
The human becomes sort of this larger pest almost, this larger creature that joins the food chain, and eats the ungulates, the pigs or the deer.
We're almost inserting ourselves as the alpha predator.
I know, totally, yeah.
in the ecosystem.
That sounds real arrogant, doesn't it?
It does. At the same time, if we don't do that,
yeah, I know.
It's hard to do the planting. It's hard to bring those forests back.
You can sort of waste a lot of time and effort, can't you, doing these plantings if they're not going to survive very well, whether it be due to droughts or competition from exotic grasses or from herbivory, or browse.
So you had in this project some already pre-existing forests, right?
Yes.
Did that come with all of the elements, or did you have to reintroduce them?
It was pretty basic sort of environment when it was first reserved, so it was extensive farmland. The majority of the forest that was here originally was just kānuka. There was some pockets of beech forest, which are real valuable, and we're trying to complement those with planting of young beech trees. Especially in these dry places like Canterbury and like Tairāwhiti, where there's droughts and quite harsh climate, it's so hard to re-establish a forest. So I think that's where preserving the remnants that we've already got is so crucial, and then complementing those with sort of a Recloaking Papatūānuku sort of philosophy. It's great to be part of, of that plan and that goal.
So you've taken that kānuka forest, which was a nice canopy, and you've planted in the fruiting species,
that's
planted
right.
in those real palatable species that the deer had cleaned out, and really brought back the diversity of that forest structure.
Yeah, totally.
And do you think that how do you think that will impact this landscape in the future?
In terms of the kānuka, we're planting lots of tōtara into that kānuka. That'll sort of speed up, hopefully turning the forest back into more of an advanced natural environment. That'll in turn provide food for lots of birds, and the birds will then spread the tōtara and matai around the rest of the reserve and that sort of stuff. So little by little things will improve.
Forests have a fairly slow pace to them, hey?
They sure
and
do.
oftentimes we struggle to slow our own expectations down to meet that pace.
Totally, yeah.
What does Recloaking Papatūānuku mean to you?
If we can sort of try and work with the plants and animals that we share our home with rather than work against them. We always think nature is separate to us, but if we can change our minds and think that we are part of nature, which clearly we are,
What are your thoughts around managing projects across a whole catchment? Do you think that there's a lot of wealth to be gained in working alongside other landowners?
Even the smallest of conservation projects is incredibly valuable, you know. When adjoining landowners realise that nature conservation is real valuable, you know, that can complement the existing reserve, and little by little, you know, those valuable areas can grow and grow.
It's a little bit like a jigsaw puzzle, right?
Totally, yeah.
Everyone's got their small piece of the jigsaw puzzle,
Yeah.
and by putting more and more of them together, the entire picture comes clear over time.
Yes, you're so right, yeah.